a vida vai trazer quem eu mereço.
Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new video again, and today we're on Wanna See Entertainment's channel again, and I put his link in the description last time, so if you guys want to check him out, I'll put it in this video as well. But I got two good horror stories, and the other one is the other horror story, these two horror stories might get you like weirded out or scared, but the first time I watched these ones, I was like scared and I couldn't fall asleep at night. So let's see if you guys have the same reactions. But that was like a while ago, so let's actually start this one. This one's called the True Doppelganger horror story.
I experienced something in the summer of 2013 that still haunts me and continues to make me question my sanity. My girlfriend Anna and I had decided to go camping as a last farewell to summer and to get some alone time. She'd be going back to college soon after, and I wouldn't see her as often. We'd been together for over 2 years then, and I was completely head over heels for her. I was even thinking about asking her the question.
You gotta make your move,
on a weekend
dude.
in early August, I packed up my camping gear, driving 45 minutes away to the park we often frequented. It was a nice park, thick with trees and wildlife, along with a small creek running through it. We knew the area well, since my friends and family had camped there since childhood. I sent a text to Anna after parking my car, letting her know that I'd made it, and I'd set up camp in our favorite spot. You see, Anna had been caring for her sick grandmother all summer, and her sister had finally agreed to watch her so that Anna could get away for a while. But she had to wait for her sister to get off work around 5 p.m. to relieve her. To save time, I'd volunteered to go ahead and set things up. I trekked up the trail a bit until I found the spot we always camped at. It was nice and level and was right beside the creek. I immediately started setting up the tent. I wanted to get everything done fast so Anna didn't have to help. 40 minutes later, I had it all set up. The tent, the sleeping bags, a little fire, everything was organized and cozy. My phone suddenly buzzed. It was a text from Anna. "I have something to tell you," it read. Just as I began to text her back, I heard footsteps coming down the path. My body tensed up a bit, because you can never tell what kind of people you might run into out here. We had on a number of occasions met with a few drunks and the occasional rowdy teenager out here, but I soon relaxed as I saw Anna step out from behind the trees with a big grin on her face. I walked up and hugged her, scooping her up off the ground a bit to make her giggle. I set her back down and asked her what she had wanted to tell me. "I love you," was the reply I got from her as she planted a kiss on my cheek. Her voice, though, it sounded different, and her lips were chilling.
So, by the title of the video, I'm guessing this is the doppelganger right here.
Cold. I asked her if she felt sick. She simply shrugged off the question and went to check out our campsite. I gave her a brief tour before I set about cooking the dinner. I made us each one of those pre-packaged camping meals that you add hot water to. It was pasta Alfredo, and I opened a bottle of red wine to go with it.
Alright guys, I'm guessing, so in this horror story,
we sat around the fire,
the doppelganger, I guess.
I tried my best to entertain her with some funny stories. Do you think she's gonna try to kill him or something in this story? The sun was setting, and I was having a great time. I watched the shadows dance off of her and the surrounding trees. I listened to the gentle motion of the nearby creek. The daylight was almost gone when she said she was cold. I mentioned she could go in the tent to warm up while I cleaned up from dinner. She made her way inside, but not before giving me a smile and another freezing cold kiss. I was starting to get worried about her. I wondered if she was getting sick, but I didn't want to nag her, so I didn't say anything. I busied myself with cleaning up our dinner, and it was then that I found Anna's plate of food that she had set off to the side on the ground. She hadn't even touched it. I also found her glass of wine nearby, tipped out onto the grass.
Yeah,
This
see,
wasn't
there's
like her
something
at
wrong
all.
with this girl. This girl's
That girl
probably like a
loved
maniac
food,
or something.
and that particular wine was her favorite. At this point, I was more than a little worried. So I headed into the tent to ask her if she was feeling sick, and to suggest that we pack up and get a motel for the night.
Get out of there.
But when I unzipped the tent and crawled in, I found her sound asleep in her sleeping bag.
Oh, okay.
I contemplated waking her up so we could leave, but she looked so relaxed that I decided against it. I went back outside and finished cleaning up camp, putting out the fire before I laid down next to her in my own sleeping bag. I had had a bit too much wine, and I fell asleep quickly. Morning came soon enough and filled the tent with a soft glow as I listened to the birds singing outside. Anna was still sound asleep, so I decided to get up and start some breakfast. 15 minutes later, I was admiring the meal I made.
In this story,
well, as much as one can admire slightly runny scrambled eggs from a pouch. I poked my head back into the tent to tell Anna that breakfast was ready. But that's when things got even weirder. Anna wasn't there. I didn't think it was likely that she could have left the tent without me seeing her. But maybe she had done so while my back was turned.
Yo, what the heck?
I waited for a bit,
that was weird.
Figuring she stepped out when nature called. About 15 minutes passed, and I was starting to get worried. I walked to the edge of the campsite and called out for her, but there was no response. I walked to the trail and called out her name as I walked up and down the path each way.
Dude has sliders
still
on
nothing.
while he's camping.
I went back to the campsite and checked the tent, but it was still empty. I searched for her belongings, but that's when I realized she hadn't brought a thing with her. I couldn't even remember her checking her phone last night, which she was in the habit of doing. She always checked her phone, always brought it with her in case her grandma needed her.
He knows something about that girl, so...
That's when I grabbed my phone and decided to text her.
Suspicious about her,
I didn't have any signal, so I walked back up the trail a bit to the truck, where I knew the signal was good. That's when the text messages started flooding my screen.
Oh shoot, her grandma
All of them were from Anna. My hands began to tremble as I read. "I have something to tell you." That was the text I saw earlier. I went on. "It's bad news. My grandma just passed away. Are you there? Can you meet me at Grandma's when you can? I can't go camping tonight, I'm sorry. We should reschedule."
Yo, wait, then who was that
Where
one girl?
are you?
That was a doppelganger?
Fine, I'll be at my sister's house for the night. Call me when you can. My hands were shaking so violently
Let me guess, she's
that I
gonna be
dropped my
behind him
phone.
and with a knife.
My mind reeled so fast that I had to fight to not pass out.
Get out of there, dude.
I ran back to the campsite and searched it, but there was no evidence of Anna or anyone else being there. I checked the tent to look at her sleeping bag that had clearly been used last night. I even checked the garbage bag to confirm that there were, in fact, 2 plates from dinner last night, one with food still on it.
Wait, do you think it was a ghost then? Because he was like missing her, and
because I didn't trust my voice not to tremble if I
like,
called her.
That was like his imagination.
I told her I got really sick last night and couldn't text her back. I apologized profusely and offered my condolences about the passing of her grandma.
Did you tell her about the doppelganger that you
She
saw?
texted me back letting me know she was okay and that I would see her later today. I walked back to camp in a daze. My mind seemed to want to shut down. It couldn't process what had happened. At first, I thought I was going crazy. I thought I'd had a breakdown and imagined everything.
Yeah, see.
But the used sleeping bag and uneaten dinner told me differently.
Oh, it's true.
Who or what kept me company last night?
Oh, shit.
Who or what could look just like Anna, but not be her? Had it been a ghost? A doppelganger? A shapeshifter of some kind?
What?
Was all of it just a sick joke? I
don't
packed
even know.
up
It could
camp
be her
with
sister,
difficulty.
like, pretend to be her,
My
but
stomach was in
that's probably not
knots
the
and my
case.
muscles were weak. I felt like I was going to get sick at any moment. I made it home and sent a text to Anna. I said I was still sick and didn't want to make her sick. I saw her next on the day of her grandma's funeral, where I easily passed off my residual anxiety about the whole ordeal as grief and sympathy.
I guess, not for the grandma, but
as I said at the beginning, I haven't told this story to anyone. Anna and I are now happily married, and I still haven't even told her.
Let's go, they got married.
We don't go camping in those woods anymore.
Yeah, you should probably not.
We found a much nicer, hopefully safer spot. I look back on that night often.
Yes, see, look, the hair
I
doesn't
replay all
even
the
match the
scenes in
girl.
my head, trying
And,
to find hints that will lead me to an explanation.
And a whole entire
but I haven't figured out
dress on
anything.
for camping.
I still only know one
you
thing.
like wear shorts instead.
I spent the night with someone or something.
Don't tell me she's gonna open her eyes. Please don't tell me. Oh, okay, there we go. Well, guys, let's get on to the next story. This one was 9 minutes long, and it didn't really have that much of a scary plot to it. It did have kind of a plot twist, but it didn't really have a scary plot twist. But hopefully the next story will have, you know, an actual plot twist. But let's get into it. Alright, guys, this one is
My name is Danny.
The Most Strange Police Who I Met at the School. Okay, let's restart it.
My name is Danny.
It's got the scary music. That's what I like about watching these Wanna See Entertainments.
Last year, I entered the high school as a freshman. One day while I was in PE class, the coach allowed us to get water one at a time, and I was the first student to go. I rushed inside one of the buildings from the courtyard to find the nearest water fountain. Since the building was pretty old, the only 2 fountains on the first floor were unusable due to rusty pipes. The only option was to go down into the unused basement, knowing that no one was allowed. I was nervous since none of the electricity was working, as it's only used during the summer. However, I forced myself and made my way down using the hallway light upstairs to guide me to the fountain. As I was drinking water, someone grabbed my shoulder abruptly.
Oh, shoot.
He was a tall man, to be in his early 30s, with a police badge.
Yo, why does I look like that?
He said seriously, "I was ordered to take you, boy. Your school is in danger right now." Just then, he started to pull me. In my 14-year-old head, I believed I was going to be saved from this school danger. He pulled me through the back door to a black van, but all of a sudden, I felt uncomfortable in my stomach, so I told him that I wanted to use the restroom. I came inside to the restroom and he said that he was going to wait outside the door.
But not the hat. The hat's not
The
even...
bathroom was stinky. While I was using the restroom, thinking hurry to finish, I asked him about what's going on, or where is everybody else, and so on. But he didn't answer at all. When I came out, the man was gone. Then I heard the back door slam. I turned around and there was that man. The guy had a knife and he pointed at me across the scarcely visible hall. I was terrified. I screamed and started to run.
Come on.
He also started sprinting toward
why his eyes look like that? Look, he looks possessed or something like that.
me at an alarming rate, and then I felt burning on my back and finally blacked out.
He got stabbed right there.
When I woke up again to unbearable pain.
Yo, why his family members look like that? Look at they're like all staring at him like, well, only these 2. This one looks worried. The grandparents look worried, but these ones, they're like staring at him like they're gonna kill him or something.
I noticed that I was in the hospital, and my parents, big brother, and the principal were standing beside me. Apparently, I was stabbed in the back twice. The principal said there was an announcement that someone invaded the school over the intercom. However, I wasn't able to hear it since the speakers didn't work because there was no electricity down there. Fortunately, the cops were able to break the wooden basement door down so they could catch that guy. If that door held up for only a little while longer, I wouldn't be here today. He could have done much worse. To this day, I always thank God that I'm alive.
Yeah, that's a good thing, I guess. Well, guys, that one actually, he almost got killed at end, but that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to also turn bell notifications on if you want. That's up to you, but those are the horror stories that we're gonna be watching today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching part 2.